Welcome to Company Habit number 2. This is the final part of this video. So you have made it to the fifth and final part of vampires, werewolves, and zombies. Now, before we go too deep into this, let me give you a quick review. Each one of these creatures that I named, vampires, werewolves, and zombies, they are mythological and supernatural, and they all have the one thing in common, which is how they transfer you. They have many different ways of how to be killed. So in this video, we are going to specifically go into how do we kill them. So the easiest two will come last. Alright, let's go with the hardest one first, which is vampires. Vampires are hard to kill because, again, depending on movie canon and what kind of vampire you're dealing with, not the shimmering ones, but for the most part, the hardest one to kill is the vampire. You know, without a doubt. It's 24 hours in a day, so you have 12 hours of darkness and 12 hours of light, because 12 plus 12 equals 24. Because 1 plus 1 makes 2, and 2 plus 2 make 4. 24. So for the most part, from midnight, depending on where your location is in the world, from midnight to between 5 and 7 a.m., there's pitch blackness outside. Providing that you are not in Alaska, like 30 days of night. Yeah, you knew it was coming. I was saving that for this video specifically. Like, if you're in Alaska and it's 30 days of night, you can pretty much say, you're screwed. But they did keep one thing canon in that movie, that vampires do die from sunlight. So I appreciate that. I didn't really like the second 30 Days of Night, but the first one with Josh Hartnett was the shit. And the thing with that is, when it comes to killing vampires, they put them vampires through a lot, and the vampires did die. You know, they put them up in sawmill cutters and all kinds of other stuff. But the one pure thing that they couldn't get was sunlight. They did spear one or two of them in the chest, but most of 30 Days of Night was a game of hide and seek, you know, because it was night for like 30 days. And, you know, they couldn't really cook their food because the vampires could smell it. So they had to eat a lot of stuff in cans. And they point that stuff out, you know. And if you haven't seen 30 Days of Night, that's a must-watch for anybody who's a vampire fan. Because when this movie was made, way back in the 90s, I think I was just getting out of high school, I always thought, I was like, so if it's true in Alaska, you have 30 days of night at least once a month or twice or 3 times a year. What would happen if vampires came in there? I really wish I would have wrote that movie, but when the movie came out, I was like, so, that's how that works. Which was awesome. So if you haven't seen the original 30 Days of Night, please go watch that. Because if you got 30 Days of Night, you better have your crucifix. And you better have faith. Alright? Again, we're gonna go into movie canon because it's vampires are diehard. Let's just get that right out the way. They can touch silver, but it burns them. But they are completely powerful when you invite them in your house, like on Lost Boys, which is another great vampire movie. If you haven't seen the first one, you should go check that out. Sunlight for sure kills them. Impaling a stake into their heart kills them. Having a crucifix and faith keeps them at bay. It doesn't really kill them, but no one says that it can't kill them. Because, you know, you could probably touch them with it. If it burns them and they fly away, they're more than likely not going to come back, and you're going to keep that cross on you. You're going to hang crucifixes in every room in your house, and you're going to make sure you do all the deterrents. So what are other deterrents? Holy water and garlic. Also in Lost Boys. They had a bathtub full of holy water and garlic, and that burns them. Holy water burns everything supernatural. I don't think holy water really affects werewolves. I haven't seen that happen in any movies, and for these video purposes, we're doing movie canon. We're not doing myth and legends, because that would take forever. So, holy water should probably affect vampires, werewolves, but it probably doesn't, just because of the fact that they aren't fucking vampires. They're werewolves. And they have a whole different mentality of life. They're also the second hardest to kill, so they'll be next. But for the most part, you have 4 or 5 central ways of killing the vampire, which I went through in the first video, and I'm going to recap it right now. First, the main way to kill a vampire is sunlight, because vampires cannot walk out in the daytime unless they like take a frack ton of sunscreen with them, like in Blade. They can't walk out in the daytime because they're gonna burst into flames. All right. Second, spear to the heart, guaranteed to stop their functioning, because for some reason a spear to the brain would not have been thought of, but a spear to the heart will stop a vampire because they're dead anyway. So if you cut off the heart, which stops the flow of blood to everything, their thirst is basically quenched. Burning the casket before the vampire gets back to the casket before the sun set, which is what spawned the werewolf to protect the vampire so that they can be protected in the daytime from humans who were hunting down the vampire trying to kill it. And you know why we're going to be going into werewolves after this. So I think if you kill the vampire in its bat form, it will revert back to its human form. But if you don't kill it right then and there, you probably can't kill it. So a spear to the heart in its vampire form or in its wolf form should probably bring the damn thing down. So we have sunlight, stake to the heart, holy water, burning the casket, and the crucifix. So those are the 5 things. Now the crucifix is touch and go, because if a vampire touches the crucifix, it generally burns just like silver does. So vampires can't mess with silver, and they can't mess with crucifix. And if you have a crucifix made out of pure silver, you have a double whammy. So we're going to leave vampires right there and move right on into werewolves. Werewolves are diehard. They are diehard. You can shoot them, you can burn them, you can torch them, and the only thing that can really kill them is a simple piece of silver. They, like their predecessors, cannot touch silver because it burns them. So even in human form, silver burns them. And unlike their predecessors, vampires actually do have a reflection werewolves have a reflection where vampires do not. Alright? So if you're with someone and they don't have a reflection, it's pretty assured that they're probably a vampire. If you're with somebody who does have a reflection, but they have overly large canine teeth in the human mouth, they're probably a vampire. But there is no real way to tell if someone's actually a vampire or a werewolf in real life outside of the reflection test or the test given on Lost Boys. So, holy water, carry it with you. But for vampires, you're going to need what I just said. I meant to go werewolves. I'm sorry. It's happening again. I'm infested with vampires in my head right now. For werewolves, you're going to need silver. All silver, all the time, everywhere. Pure, 100%, unadulterated silver. So, I don't know how much silver is in my dog tag or if it's coated with silver. But silver. If they touch silver, they burn. So we have established that silver is the main weakness of werewolves. And a silver bullet is the end of a werewolf. Now, to be honest, I'm going to say if you shoot a werewolf with a silver bullet in the heart, that's logical. The head is more logical because of what they taught me in the army and also what you learn in the streets. If you shoot the head, the body will fall, etc., etc. So what makes them so die-hard is the fact that there's no cure for them to go back to normal, I guess, and there's no real way of stopping them once they get rolling. However, silver is very hard to come by. It is a very rare material. That's what makes them so hard to kill. If you have enough money to get 15 silver bullets in an M4, you have to make 15 good shots. Period. Where regular bullets, you can wing the werewolf, you can injure the werewolf, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to keep coming. So you need silver bullets or silver utensils, which is another reason why it has to be pure silver. The thing about silver utensils is it silver because it's a coating of silver, or is it silver because it's actual silver? And that's the difference maker between coating silver. Coating things silver will probably burn or piss the werewolf off versus an actual piece of silver which would probably burn the living crap out of the werewolf the same way it does vampires. But silver kills werewolves. It doesn't kill vampires. It kills werewolves. And the thing is, no one's giving you an exact amount of silver that can kill a werewolf. Vampires can't touch the silver because it burns them. But werewolves can't touch the silver because it not only burns them, but it can kill them. So you don't really know what amount of silver kills a werewolf. You do know that if it's in a bullet, a silver bullet, you better not miss. It's just that simple. Unless you have a machine gun loaded with silver bullets, which is not impossible, just highly improbable, unless you're like exceptionally superstitious, like me. So if I ever had any money and I actually had a machine gun, all my bullets would be silver. If I ever actually got a gun, all my bullets would be silver. Every arrowhead that I have would be silver. So silver arrow could probably do just as much damage as a silver bullet. You could probably get a lot more silver arrows than you could get silver bullets. These things aren't going to be cheap, people. So finally, let's get down to the easiest to kill. Zombies. The only reason why zombies is the easiest to kill is because they're already dead, and if you stop them from functioning in any capacity, generally it's pretty much done. If you take out a zombie's legs, it's going to be helpless. If you take off his hands, it's going to be helpless. If you take a baseball to its face and knock off its jaw, it can't bite you anymore, which makes it helpless. However, zombies are only strong in packs. So if you're swinging for the fences and you only have one bat and there's 10 zombies, you got a fighting chance because it's 10 zombies, for God's sake. But again, zombies are only strong in packs. That could just be the first wave. So if you wipe out 10 of the first zombies, pick your weapons back up because you're going to need them. And again, zombies are only strong in packs. Now, you can burn zombies and that'll put an end to them too. Where fire and werewolves and vampires are just like a temporary shutdown. Fire in zombies. Yeah, because, you scorch the crap out of them, they're done. Where bullets also in zombies, but 9 times out of 10 it has to be a direct shot to the head to stop the brain function. Why the shots to the heart don't stop zombies? Because zombies are dead and they're not pumping blood the way vampires would pump blood or the way a werewolf would pump blood. You see where I'm going with this? So zombies who somehow eat brains and body parts and things, they're basically unstoppable, but they're the easiest to kill because you can plow through zombies with a car, and unless superficial damage is done, they're done. But if you bang them up a little bit, they flip over the car and they can get back up from that, and you don't back the car over and run over that sucker a couple more times, it's just going to keep walking in whatever direction it was going, if it can get up. Because it's already dead, broken bones and stuff aren't really going to stop it. Decapitation will definitely stop them. Bullets to the head will stop them. Anything that stops the brain function destroys a zombie. Now, with vampires and werewolves, you're on a whole nother level of what the fuck. Okay? Because like I said, zombies are the easiest to kill. Unless you're in the World War Z zombies where, they're piling in and there's 20 zombies to one person. They just don't stop. There's mad zombies. It's like a overflow of zombie, and you don't have enough bullets to kill them all. But that's where hand grenades come in. You got a hand grenade, the bigger that mob, the better your chances are of wiping a third of them out, if not the majority versus the minority, because if you're smart and you do like we were taught in Fort Benning, Georgia, you don't use the pineapple. You use the firebomb grenade, because a bomb that explodes, or what do we call it, inferno grenade, will pretty much do some damn damage. Now you got to make sure you're not caught in the blast on the way out, but it happens. So if you only have pineapple grenades, then you need to throw them in strategically placed spots. Tripwires, claymores, all those things also work. Bouncing Betties. I don't know what a Bouncing Betty is. I do not play that game, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there for fun for the people who do play that game. If you have those, you have a good chance of surviving a zombie attack. The problem with that is that, as humans, we get tired and we get sleepy. Someone's going to have to be on watch. You're going to have to find a place where you can fortify the place so that zombies can't get in. You're going to have to restructure everything. And though they are easy to kill, They are dangerous in packs because they are not strong unless there's more than one of them. You got 5 or 6 zombies, you got an easy takeout day. You got 10 zombies, it's a little bit rougher. But if you got 15, 20, 35 zombies, 45 zombies, 50 zombies all coming at you at one time, you need a flamethrower and you need a grenade. Because that's going to solve a lot of problems. Unless you have creatures from Resident Evil that apparently are grenade proof, which nothing is grenade proof in real life. Just remember that. Nothing is grenade proof in real life. Not even a tank. A tank will still get damaged if you throw a grenade at that damn thing. However, you're trying to kill what's in the tank, not the tank itself. But you can still cause a lot of damage and force whatever's in the tank to come out of the tank. But if you're in games like Left 4 Dead, the old zombies had tanks, but they were like big, huge, wildly things. They also had witches and stuff like that, which has nothing to do with zombies, and we're not doing anything on witches, but at the same time, zombies are the easiest to kill, again, unless there's more than 15. If you're in a place where there's 15 zombies, you got a fighting chance. You can actually be quiet and walk right past them. But in a real life situation, someone's going to screw up. Because that's always what happens. But no, most people aren't prepared for zombies because they don't watch zombie movies and they don't know what to do. They know what to do about a werewolf, they know what to do about a vampire, but they don't know what to do about zombies. This is why you should brush up on your zombie movies, people. But for the most part, zombies are easier to kill than werewolves and vampires. A werewolf is going to fight you to the end. You got 12 hours to survive against a vampire. Because once the sun sinks in, it's done for the vampire. And the vampire has an internal clock to know that if the sun rises normally at 5 o'clock somewhere, that they need to get the hell out of Dodge about that time. So about 4:45, you're fighting. And the vampire just backs off. Because on the East Coast, the sun rises between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. And you guys are on the West Coast, and it's almost 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. on the East Coast, he might get you. But if you're fighting and it's 9 a.m. on the East Coast, then it's freaking 6 a.m. on the West Coast. And by 6 a.m., the sun is generally shining unless it's a rainy day. Which goes back to, you better pray that it doesn't rain after your 30 days of night. But anyway, as I close out, remember these things that they have in common. If you stop the brain functions of a zombie or a werewolf, they're done. Silver bullet to the head of a werewolf is going to end it. Silver bullet to the heart of a werewolf, it's going to end it. Any bullet to the head of a zombie is going to end it. A grenade will slow down a werewolf, but it probably won't kill it. Unless the shrapnels are made out of pure silver when it explodes. If the explosion doesn't kill it, then the shrapnels would, unless they're not made out of silver. Silver hurts werewolves and vampires, but it kills werewolves quicker than it kills vampires. Vampires really only have to worry about crucifixes, spikes to the hearts, burning caskets, and silver burning them. And there's that possibility that a silver bullet could probably kill a vampire. We're not sure because no movie has done that. And if they do that, you heard it from me first, because in most canons and most movies, and not the shimmering vampires, vampires only have so many ways they can die, where a werewolf only has like 1 or 2, and it involves silver getting shot into them. There has been, I think, a movie or so where a werewolf got shot with a silver bullet in the shoulder, but it poisoned him, but he didn't die. Probably made him wish he was dead, and then eventually the werewolf does die eventually. But silver destroys werewolves in general. And finally, with vampires, you have the sunlight. So, you guys hopefully will enjoy this video. I've made 5 of these. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed them. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get me a bowl of Trick cereal, and I'm going to eat it as I post these videos. This has been a fun time for Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.